In less than 2 weeks, I'm racing the US Olympic trials in the 3K steeplechase. So far this season, I've run 9:37 in my opener and then 9:32 in my second race, but my PR is still 9:26 from the 2021 US Olympic trials. Tonight, I'm going after it.
Let's go, Allie!
I am officially in Portland for Portland Track Festival Steeplechase tomorrow night. My flight did get delayed 5.5 hours, but my race is late and I've been going to bed early, so I'm thinking of it as training for staying up late, so it's all part of the plan. I'm about to head to my pre-meet run, and then I have a really busy day of nothing planned. It's just time to rest up and try to put all this fitness to use. Some people have been wondering why I look especially stylish lately, and it's because I've been wearing Halara. They are the sponsor of today's video and what I have been wearing all the time when I'm not working out. I love their clothes because they're super comfortable, made with fabric that has softness, stretchability, and a comfortable yet breathable feel, so they all feel like athletic wear but look a little bit nicer. My favorite item is this white high-waisted tennis skirt because it feels like I'm wearing shorts but it looks fancy. And all of their clothes are super stylish and versatile. They feel like athletic wear, but look how cool these are. I mean, come on now. For all their items, there's also a wide range of sizes available, as well as a great selection of different colors to choose from. And the details for all of their items are amazing. There are shorts underneath the dresses and skirts so that you can wear them to do whatever. The waistbands are comfortable and the fit is so flattering on all of their pieces. Also, the links to all of the items that I'm wearing in this video will be in my description, so make sure to check that out. You can also use my code 15Allie for 15% off your order. Halara really is the perfect clothing for anyone who loves the feel of activewear but wants to look a little bit more dressed up. The ordering process is super easy and they deliver top quality products at a fair price. So use code 15Allie and check out Halara. I promise you'll literally want to spend the rest of your life in these clothes. About the race tomorrow, and honestly, I just really want to run a personal best. Obviously, I want to race, compete, but I have been having personal best workouts and I want to be able to translate that into a race, and I think I still don't quite believe that fitness is there, so I really need to prove to myself that those workouts are an accurate representation of where I'm at. I just wanted a personal best so bad all year. I think about it a lot on runs and I'll literally start crying tears of joy at the thought of a personal best. So if I could do that tomorrow, it would just mean the world to me.
I drove 3 hours from here after winning my 10th straight 5K, so you can call me the local edge.
Going into this race, I was definitely nervous because after that really strong altitude camp, I felt like for the first time this season, I had high expectations for myself, and because of that, I had something that I could fall short of.
Thank you. On your bar.
Yeah, I'll see you sometime.
Go, Allie!
once the gun went off, I was out more aggressively than I had my last couple races, and I really wanted to make sure that I worked a lot on positioning for this race and just putting myself in it from the start, not letting myself fall too far back and have a bad shot at the barriers. And so I put myself right into the front pack here, and I was really happy with how I went out in this race because even though it went out quick, I felt like it was very worth it for the view I had of the barriers and my fluidity over them as a result of that. I wasn't originally planning on doing this steeplechase. I was going to run the 1500 at Portland Track Festival, but after my performance at LA Track Fest, which wasn't bad in any way, but just I felt like I had a lot of room to improve for my tactical and technical racing skills, especially in the steeplechase, just because I'd had a couple years off of the event and I needed more time to get back into the swing of things. So I decided to race the steeplechase at Portland Track to get a little bit more experience. So a big focus in this race was just improving my technical efficiency over these barriers.
Nice job, Allie. Good positioning. Great.
And over these first few laps, I already felt so much better. And it actually wasn't because we've been practicing a lot. I haven't practiced barriers at all since my last race because at altitude, we were increasing the intensity and keeping pretty high volume. Plus, I was living at over 5,000 feet. So we were already increasing the injury risk on a lot of other fronts. So we didn't want to add another one to the mix. So I just went into this with like no practice over barriers, but already felt a lot better. And I think that that's just because I have a couple races under my belt and I'm starting to remember what it feels like and remember how to attack those barriers and move through them without losing too much time. So I was excited that that was feeling better. And at this point in the race, I was right up with that front pack and we were going at a pretty good speed. But as you can see here, the water barrier was on the outside of the track, which is not unheard of, but it's also not common. Because of that, all the laps are longer than 400 meters, whereas in a typical steeplechase, when the water pit is on the inside of the track, they're a little bit shorter than 400 meters. So the splits were really different, and I wasn't even paying any attention to the clock because the point of this race was to race.
Nice job, Allie. Tuck right into that pack. Good job.
And work on my tactics, but I just didn't know what pace we were going. So this felt pretty fast to me, and as you see here, I'm starting to get like a little bit gapped by this front group, and to be honest, I was just intimidated by the pace. And even though I didn't know what it was, it felt fast, and I wanted to commit to it fully, but I'm still working on getting my confidence back to where I want it to be. At this point, I was kind of starting to doubt myself and wondering if this was a pace that I could maintain for the entire rest of the race or if I needed to take a step off of it. But I was like, you know what, Allie, the point of this is to be competitive. So you've got to stick yourself to this group. You've got to stay in it because if you let them go, it's going to be so hard to reattach. So I was like, okay, I have to at least try to match this move, even if it feels a little bit too aggressive at the moment.
Nice job, Allie. Looking great. Looking great.
We're still very early into the race, just over 1K in. So this move was made at 2 laps into the race. So that is pretty early for an aggressive move to be made. And so I was just off the front of this, but although they were getting a gap on me, I was still making a concerted effort to go with this move. And while I didn't fully match it, I matched it enough that I stayed in contact with that lead group so that if they did slow down, I knew that I would be able to reattach and be in the race when it came down to the last few laps and the final move that was made then. You can't even see me on the live stream right now because I am a little bit detached, but I'm actually not that far back. I think maybe 5 to 10 meters behind these leaders right now. And we are almost at a mile into the race. So we're going at a pretty decent pace, especially for steeplechase. Like in my opener, I ran 77.
Keep grinding, Allie. Keep grinding. Get up there now. Come on now, Allie.
So in this race, I think we're running closer to 76s or 75s. But as I said, I did not know that at the time. I was just trying to hang on for dear life and not let this race get away from me. I really have a tough time mentally matching a move so early in the race, but that's also why it's really important for me to be in this, because I know that at the Olympic trials, there will be moves made early and the pace will probably be very hot and something that I am not comfortable with. So I need to get used to being uncomfortable further out in the race. And as you see here, the front did slow down a little bit and I was able to fully reattach myself to that. And I was starting to feel really good because although I felt uncomfortable just 2 laps into the race, I didn't feel any worse at this point. And I felt pretty strong and powerful and within myself going into just 2 laps to go. That was a really promising feeling because I thought, you know what, like I'm in this. I'm in the front lead group and I feel strong and the race is going pretty well for me so far. And once you start to get just a sniff of that, like, oh my gosh, I could win this, then it's just infectious and it took over my entire body, and I was just getting so hyped up and excited by the prospect of being able to win a race, of being in a race, of being there with 2 laps to go, because this truly is what you work for. Like, track is all about the competitive nature and just getting to that last final stretch and can you do it? Who's going to be the fastest on the day? Who has that last little gear? And so to be able to be in a situation where I thought, oh my gosh, I could actually like see if I'm the one with that gear was just revving me up, and I was really excited.
You're locked in. You look amazing. You're doing great. You're doing great.
And I actually decided to take the lead here and kind of test the waters and see how, you know, everyone else in this pack was feeling. The woman from New Mexico actually matched that move and she went with me stride for stride. So I thought, okay, I won't take the lead, but I'll just be here kind of pushing the pace from her shoulder. And look at that barrier. I actually got like a little bit of distance on her over that. That is exciting because at the last race, that was not happening. I was falling back on every barrier. But I will say my water jumps were, they left something to be desired. But I'm still working on it, and going into these last few weeks before the trials, that is going to be something that we do actually work into the training, because now some of the other injury risks like volume and intensity of workouts are going to be going down slightly. So that will be more of a focus. But anyways, this is going into the last lap of the race and I'm right there. So I'm feeling the adrenaline. Everyone's cheering. Spencer's whooping and hollering.
You can win! You can win this! Just tuck in there. Take it at 200!
I'm excited. And I also feel really good. I've been on the outside for pretty much this entire race, running it in lane 2, but the steeplechase is just weird enough where sometimes that's not actually a disadvantage. So I'm just hanging in lane 2. I'm fine with it, but I'm definitely pushing. I'm trying to really make her work to be able to keep that inside, and every time that I make a little move and go a little bit in front of her, she just matches me stride for stride or even goes a little bit in front. It's making me nervous for this final stretch, but I kept reminding myself that I had so many workouts at altitude where David had me absolutely sprinting the end of reps where I felt so tired, and I always was able to have just a little last gear to go. So once we got through this water jump, I turned on that gear and I just tried to sprint as fast as I could, and I immediately felt myself getting some distance on her, and it was amazing. And after I got over that final barrier, I just really ripped it into the finish, and I felt so confident in my kick and so strong, and like all the teague of the tude had really paid off.
Oh my god, that was sick.
It's been so long since I won a track race, 4.5 years. So to be able to get one, get that personal best that I was dreaming of was amazing. And then just having Spencer there to support me and be there, just so happy for me, was the best feeling in the world.
I almost cried. Tears were leaving the eyes.
I didn't even see what you ran, but I didn't even see it.
I gotta pace the 10K.
What's going on?
I'm pacing the 10K. They up the schedule. It's right now.
Three or 4 minutes if you're good. So take a little break.
I finished and my first thought was 10K. All right, let's go.
Good job, Allie. Don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. 76 on it.
This was such a fun day, and it felt like great affirmation for all the work I had put in at altitude and throughout the rest of this year. It was a pleasure to meet those of you that were at the race. Thank you so much for watching, and that's all for now, folks.